What's up, guys? Welcome back to another week of Secrets of a Church Girl podcast. We are hanging out with you on this lovely day. Wherever you're at or you're listening, we hope you're having an incredible day. I'm Randall, or Randy.
Shmam.
It's a Shmammy. We are your neighborhood church girls. If you're listening to this for the first time, we are just a podcast where we chat about our lives, current events, how we were raised, how we wish we weren't raised, how we are thankful for how we've been raised, and everything in between. We talk about Jesus and how to live a life with him in this crazy world.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sums it all up.
And just like random stuff too.
Yeah, we talk about things we like, don't like, and somehow they always correlate to our childhood.
Yep. Sometimes it's planned, sometimes it's not.
Yeah. Well, we always start and jump in with our peaks and pits of the week, which is just like the best part of what's happened so far and the not so best part. So what you got, Sammy?
I'll do my pit because we have the same.
Yeah, we'll sharing
a peak. My pit was work today. I feel like my pit is always work.
She's like, my pit is work, my peak is paycheck.
Yeah. But I'll just leave it at that because...
But you work long shifts and you stand all day. And
yeah.
You're a trooper, dude. But we're going to find something else soon in Jesus' name. And it's going to pay more.
Yes.
And it's going to have so many other things, but we just speak it in Jesus' name. My pit, I'm still pregnant. No, I'm just kidding. I'm trying to have this little girl, y'all, which maybe by the time you're listening to this, I may have.
Because if y'all don't know, we're pre-recording a lot this week.
Yeah, we're trying to pre-record so that we can finish season 1 out, and then we'll break for a few weeks or something, and then we'll come back with season 2. Maybe have a different set. I don't know. Maybe have different lighting. If it's on Billy's account, we're gonna have like a whole studio of lights. Yeah. So I think that's the only thing is like I'm ready to have this little child. And then our peak, Sam, share.
Our friends are here.
We have more friends in Fredonia.
We do, finally.
Yeah.
I have no friends.
Oh, thanks.
Outside of this house.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, our friends Bree and Jerry moved here from Oceanside, California to Fredones, New York. They're planting Gospel Church with us, and they're on our launch team. Jerry... Bree's Fifi, or no, her husband now.
Yeah,
they're married.
Oh yeah, watched it.
Husband and wife now. He's a like creative cinematography, photographer, videographer, all that stuff like that. And Bree's super creative too. They're actually both dancers.
I was just gonna say they're both dancers.
Really, really good dancers.
I'm gonna get them to give me lessons.
They danced in studios and did all these
like legit
ran classes and all this stuff. They're so legit. So we're super excited that they got here. Tonight, the day that we're filming is Tuesday, so it's Taco Tuesday in our house. So
when they got here yesterday, they drove here.
Yeah. They got married, and then we're home for like, what, a week?
I think so.
And then they left. So they jumped on the road, and they did the same route that Billy did.
I can't believe all their stuff hasn't got here yet, huh?
No, I haven't. I keep forgetting to ask. They like us, we did a U-boxes when we moved. And they did as well, but they also had their car, so they packed their car with stuff, like kind of what they would need right in the beginning. So I don't know when their boxes get here.
Like what are they sleeping?
Well, their place that they found is furnished, dude. Their house that they got here is beautiful. It's the cutest. It literally feels like you're on like a little retreat, like
an Airbnb.
Yeah, it's a loft.
Yeah.
Style house.
Isn't it like orange?
Yeah, it's like a burnt orange color.
I had never seen it. Yeah, and then I saw it on their Instagram story, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
So it's right up. You know how have you gone to Mariah's property, my sister's property? You know how the creek that they have. There's a creek that runs through the whole village.
I've never been.
You haven't been there? No. Okay, well it butts up to a really tall part of town, and it runs really high, and then the creek's real low. So their house is right at the top of like the. Like it meets up to the end of the whatever. I don't even know how you explain it. But it's a big drop, and then the creek is down at the bottom. And so the way that they have the back of their house, their backyard is actually just like a really big porch.
I saw that, porch. And I was like, dang.
Dude, no. When we went to walk it, because they came and they visited before to just kind of like feel out the area and see if they liked it. And when they came, they looked at a few places, but they hadn't seen this one. They didn't see it in person. It wasn't available yet.
Oh, right.
So they left, and literally the day they left, the realtor messaged us about the house that they got.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went and walked it for them, and there was so much snow. So you couldn't tell, like,
Okay.
you just saw the house. We just saw the inside of the house. Dude, it's the full, like, house, the wraparound porch. You can see the creek. But also, they have a giant side yard. Like, huge. Like, almost the size of the whole backyard is on the side of the house. And it's so cute, dude. I was like, we're going to have women's events here. We're going to have young adult events here. We're going to have...
I know, the
so
porch
nice.
is so pretty with the creek.
And there's, like, a huge spot to, like, set up a full-blown outside furniture. Like, a huge dining table. Like, you could do chairs and stuff. So we're just really excited for them. Can you tell I'm so hyped for them in their house? I was like, if we were going to have kids, we would be here.
Yeah.
Because it obviously, there's no, like, fence or gate that you just go off the edge. So Everly just, bloop.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're really excited for them. They're, like, shopping and how we were, like, 2-3 months ago.
Yeah, we went in.
As she texted me this morning, I felt so bad. She said, are there any Targets around?
We were like, yeah, want to drive 15 minutes.
I was like, no, baby. There are no Targets around. But we're going to get our nails done tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to get my toes done. Because, you know, I take care of myself now.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to Target probably.
Oh, fun. I wish I could come.
I know. I was thinking about it. I was like, ugh, I wish she had, like, a shift that wasn't always in the middle of the day.
I know.
I just sit at home and I'm, like, waiting. I'm like, when's she going to come home?
Then I come home and I'm like, go to my room.
Tired. I know.
I literally lay on the floor.
On your neck thing. Yeah. Do you want to share it? Please tell us about that.
I tried there. Okay, so they have this neck thing that's like, I can't even explain it. It's just like this thing you lay on your neck, and your head like hangs over, so it, like the tension releases. And I tried theirs, and it was like, it changed me. It was like I did it one time, and like I was fine for like 3 days, and I was like, oh, I've never had no pain for 3 days.
Does it make a huge difference for you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good, because I know you were having like neck and back problems.
And then I was like, I need to get my own. I don't want to keep asking them like to use theirs. So I ordered my own on Amazon, and it came, and I literally do it every single day for at least 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. Like I put on like music, soft music, lay there. And I lay there.
Oh, that's so nice.
I put the timer on my like Fitbit, and I just lay there inside like silence.
That's how Billy is. Billy's like a neck gadget guy. He has all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
the neck hammock. He has a back roller. Yeah. So it's like a hammock, dude. It's literally a hammock that you lay your head in it, and the hammock sits right here, and it hangs onto the door handle, and you lay with your arms open, and it basically like ever so slightly like pulls your head up, and so basically all of the air and bubbles and like stuff that gets stuck in between your vertebrae, it opens it so that it can release it. So you lay there for like, you have to lay there for 20 minutes for it to like do the full thing. And then when you get up, it helps with like migraines. It helps with a bunch of stuff.
Wow, I should try that now.
Yeah. We like it, but the thing is none of the doors click and close hard enough to hang it on the door. You just get so nervous hanging it on the door handle, and then the door swings open.
Snack.
Yeah. So he's a neck gadget guy. So I was really glad that you told me that worked for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was asking people this week, if you guys listened to our last podcast, we talked about like some strict parenting stuff that we've experienced, people's experiences with strict parenting. But when we started that conversation, I was interested to hear what some people's experiences were with like Christians in general, like whether you're Christian or not, or if you identify as Christian or whatever, what some of your experiences have been. Like good and bad, because I've had experiences with people that are Christian outside of my church. So this is not church people. Those, I feel like they can be, if you identify as a Christian, and then church people and then people that follow Jesus can be 3 different categories sometimes.
Yeah.
But there have been times where I interact with people and they don't know what I do or where I came from or who I am or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And then they identify as Christian, and it's like, oh.
Oop.
And I was like, man, you're not very nice.
Yep.
But you love Jesus. You said you're not very nice.
Yep.
So do you have any experiences? I have stories. If you want to think, I can tell one.
Yeah, I'll think.
Okay, so I have a very large family, and it's an incredible family. My family's like top notch, in my opinion. Um, but my grandpa has, I think, like 14 brothers and sisters, and they all have kids, which would be my parents' age. And then they had all of us, which would be my cousin's age, and now we're all having kids. So there's like an extensive amount of family. And my whole family, almost my whole family, other than my grandpa and all of his kids, so like our little tree, are pretty much Christian. And most of my grandpa's siblings were raised apostolic. So they're apostolic Christians, which is just another denomination of Christianity. There's like theological differences as well, but in like layman's terms, it's just another branch of Christianity. Which, if you're wondering what we are, we're just non-denominational. You're considered yourself non-denominational, right? Yeah. So there's big theological differences, but like differences that you would see with the plain eye if you knew.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like old Levitical law that they still live out. So like you don't cut your hair, you can't shave, you don't wear jewelry.
It's not like the long skirts.
Yeah, you can't. You're supposed to cover like your knees, and women are supposed to cover their knees and below. They're also not allowed. Like women aren't allowed to wear pants or leggings or anything. It has to be like skirts. It's very exact to what the Bible talked about in like clothing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
No makeup. There's like just a bunch of different things. So we would hang out like our whole family. Like when it wasn't often, but there were times that I remember growing up. And our family was kind of like, not mine, my mom and my sister, like my grandpa's all of his kids were always kind of like the not so saved ones in the huge bunch of like 50, 60, 70 of us. It was always like my my grandpas that were like, oh, they're kind of Christians, but they're not like serious about it. You know what I mean? And so we would go to stuff, and we would go to like huge family events, like humongous, or we would go to like churches that were similar to the denomination. And it was always like really uncomfortable because my sisters and I all wear jeans and pants and shorts, and
Yeah.
we have our makeup done. Like I literally do hair and makeup for a living. And yeah, so I remember constantly like growing up and it maybe wasn't my family, but sometimes we would just have big, huge things, and people would bring friends, and you bring your friends' friends, and people you go to church with, and let's just all hang out together. So it would be like 60 people, and we would always be the ones that walked in like not in the skirt, not with like the veil you're supposed to wear, with makeup on. And then so many times, dude, there was like, you could feel like you were being looked at, you know? And not in like, oh, you look cute, girl, but in like a, why are they dressed like that? Why do they look like that? How come nobody says anything to them? And there was one time that we were at a gathering, and one of the ladies there was like, Mija, has anybody told you like, and I'm thinking she's going to say, has anybody told you you're so pretty, or you look just like your grandma, or like something like that? And then she said, has anybody told you that, like, you're not supposed to wear that kind of clothes? And I was like, dude, this is when I was younger, because now my sisters and I are all very, like, dominant. I think we had to learn. But before, I think I was, like, 12. Dude, like, wearing the Bermuda shorts I used to wear when I was 12. Horrible, in 8th grade. And I was wearing probably, like, Bermuda shorts and a dumb shirt with, like, a monkey on it or something. I don't know. And she was like, you're not supposed to wear those things. And I was so confused because I always knew that my family like practiced this, which not everybody in this realm of Christianity is like this. Please, dude. I have some of my cousins are the freaking best human beings in the world. But yeah, she told me, she's like, you're not supposed to, did you know that? And I remember not understanding because I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to. I just knew that this is what they did. Like, this was just, I didn't know if that was because, like, their parents were more strict, or, like, they had to wear this, or this was all their parents bought them. Like, I didn't assume. I was, like, 11 years old. And, yeah, she was just like, you're not supposed to. And I looked so confused. And one of my Theas was standing next to me, and she was like, I think she looks cute. I think what she's wearing is cute. And she was like, oh, but someone has to teach her at some point. And I remember just being so confused. And my Thea was like, no, Mija, you look so cute. I love your short. Like, she just got all, like, protective,
was
you
your
know?
mom there?
My mom was there, but she was somewhere else.
Oh.
And then my mom had, like, a follow-up conversation with me after and was like, hey, don't, like, let me explain to you. And then that's when I learned. Like, this is why some of your friends and family, like, choose to live this way. And then this is why we choose to live the way that we choose to live. And as much as you can explain the theological differences to a 12-year-old, but I mean, I can't imagine trying to explain that to someone who just would not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, thank God I had been in church for all these years and kind of understood Jesus. And, like, you know, in kids' church, you're not being read the Levitical law. You're being read, like, the stories of the gospel, you know, most of the time. So I remember being really like, and then every time after that, that started, like, the awkwardness that you're like, should I be wearing something else to go to this family member's house because you're going to say something to me or what?
Yeah, that's so awkward.
Not fun. But that was one of the bad experiences. I've also had a million times over good ones to that one bad one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any?
Yeah.
Tell.
I mean, I probably have more than I can remember, but, like,
Of course.
the one I can actually remember, it's, like, with someone who I was on team with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not gonna say where, like, what church I was at, but I was, like, younger. And I was just like, you know, I had just started serving, like, playing guitar, and this person had been, like, serving in the same team for a while, and they're
Musicians.
Yeah, they're a musician, but they're, like, he was a guy,
Uh-huh.
and he was just not nice,
Oh.
like, all the time. He was just, like, really, like, girls shouldn't be playing, like,
condescending.
Guitar. Yeah.
Misogynistic.
Yeah. And I was like, what? Who is giving you, like, this information?
Yeah.
Like,
who told you that this is what?
Where does it say that anywhere? Like, in the Bible or, like?
What did I miss?
Yeah. I don't know. I just remember that a lot because it affected me a lot, like, in my teenager years, because it happened, like,
right before.
Yeah, or, like, right at the beginning of my teen years. And so, like, I haven't seen this person in, like, literal years, probably, like, over 10 years. But, I mean, it doesn't affect me anymore, but it affected me a lot, like, when I went to college, because I was going to college to play and, like, to be on team, guitar and all that stuff. I was thinking about that, like, all the time.
Like, should I be up here?
Yeah.
Am I qualified for this?
Yeah. It's hard. Like, I can't say, like, a lot on here because, like, it'll give it away.
Right.
What it is or who it is. But, yeah, just... He was him and his close friends were, like, all kind of the same.
That's so funny because one of the answers that we got, like, the not so good experiences with Christians, was the worst, like, tone that she got, because this girl was telling me she's had experience with a lot of Christians, but when it was bad, the tone she got was, like, misogyny from a lot of, like, and I think it's like just, like, the lack of maturity, or it could be theology, because it could be a theology thing where it's complementary and egalitarian, where you believe in, like, different leaderships in church for women, or positions for men and positions for women and all that stuff like that. So depending on which side you fall has a lot to do with how you treat women. I don't think everybody that falls on the opposite side of, like, men in leadership treat women that way, but I do think that an immature version of that, a lack of, like, processed version of that, one of the two, could make you treat people like this, for sure.
Yeah,
like, for sure.
I just, like, I can't do it.
Yeah, I remember that too. I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, child, which was so weird because, yeah, it's just weird. It never made sense to me. Yes,
like, it did never. add
Yeah,
up.
it never added up. I think some of the best experiences that I've had with people that follow Jesus and love Jesus are the ones that are, like, it sounds so cheesy, I hate even saying this, but, like, childlike. that like they take the life of Jesus literally.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is nothing that they've understood or read about Jesus that is not literal for us to do. Do you know what I mean? And I don't mean like scriptures of do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. Yeah, I think like the people that are like constantly introspective, the people that are like, wait, why don't we like love them? Or like, how come they can't be a part of this with us? Or like, in even in those moments have been the moments where I've learned the most from other like followers of Jesus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's sad because like after years, it's easy for that fall away, like fade away from you.
Yeah.
When it's like you see it in them, you see like this little beam in their eye that's like, no, what Jesus did, how he loved people, like why isn't that all we're doing? You know what I mean? And I just, that makes me so like, it's so refreshing when you meet those people. But I want to share some stories. You know what's funny is there's so many stories about crazy Theas, which I remember. Yes, it's so funny because I remember like growing up and when I would talk to my friends like in high school or when I was in college or whatever it was, like they would say like, oh, and I would tell them that I'm Christian. They would be like, dude, my Thea's crazy. Like my Thea always tells me stuff, or some of my friends would just say like my Thea's just super judgmental. I guess there's always a Thea.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have that, but nah, I thought about it and I do.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Same. I have like 100 Theas, so none of y'all can guess. But yeah,
same, me too.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
It's like always judging. If it's not you, it's your church
or your friends,
whatever church you decide to go to.
Yes.
Like, and I don't get it.
I know it's really hard. I've had a lot of and extended family, right? Don't get crazy. That had just disliked the fact that I went to a church that was like
a concert.
Yeah. The fact that it was even being evaluated. That it was even my church was even under your evaluation list. That you felt that you had the place to evaluate and like rank this place.
I remember that was like one thing for like with my ideas was like, it's not real church because it's like a concert, like the worship.
Because it's enjoyable. What the heck?
Yeah.
What are you doing going to church you like?
That was like such a thing. I don't know why.
I remember that, dude. I clearly remember that. And I just think I say that because I would never be able to like take myself serious enough that I could tell you that the place you're going is like not what Jesus or what God is wanting to be done in that church. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like what?
That's so weird to me. Anyway, here's a Thea story. One of my Theas, don't we all have one? She was one of the most judgmental and rudest ladies I've ever met. We never got along because I'd always call her out on it, and I don't understand how every time I went around there was something negative to say about me or the fact that I wasn't living up to her standard. Which that alone, treatment alone, like, why are you doing this? How come you're doing that?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing that. That's not what God would say. You know,
how do you know?
I don't this is my biggest thing, is when you try to tell an unbeliever that God disagrees with them, that's like so null and void because they don't believe in Jesus. So your standard of Jesus in their life is non-existent.
Yeah.
That's why you have to walk in with like love and relationship and like genuine just like appreciation. I don't know. I think it's just so confusing to me when my friends' aunts would do that, where they were not Christian. And they would be like, well, God doesn't want you to, whatever.
Okay, that's
and I'm
weird.
Like, come on, Thea, this Thea.
That's weird because
Tia
like,
Roberta.
Mine were like are Christian, so they were just like saying.
No, I know them. Like the aunts are Christian or whoever the person is Christian, but the person you're talking to isn't.
Yeah.
So you're like,
what?
It doesn't work. This one doesn't work.
Help me understand.
Yeah, help me understand this. Or you know what's not fun is when. I'm gonna flip it on y'all listeners that are probably like, yeah, Christians are crazy. When there's someone in your life that isn't a Christ follower and you do something and they're like, oh, well, that's not Christian. Oh, dude, that used to drive me crazy. Now I get it. There's a part of it that's like, yo, you ain't acting like you said you was gonna act because of Jesus and all that. But I do think there is like a side where you're like, okay, now you're just trying. Now you're just reaching.
Yeah.
Now you're just reaching.
Yeah.
You know? Oh my gosh. I remember that so many times, dude. Like my friends telling me about their aunt. Like it's so weird, but they're Theas.
So weird.
I know. So random. Okay, now on a heavier note, someone said back when I was 16, I had told someone at the church I was going to that I had been through a sexual assault. Um, they told I had told them that it happened. Obviously, they hadn't realized that it happened before I was married. She was 16, and they told her that she was going to hell and that I must have provoked it, and that everyone would be able to tell that I was tainted and dirty. Dude.
I'm about to flip a table right now.
I know. I'm so sorry. All I can say is I'm sorry. Because that's the thing, is you're going to run into all of these stories.
Yeah.
And I think why we tell them all is not so we can go, oh yeah, a bunch of Christians are bad. But so that you can hear from someone who loves Jesus that we are sorry. That we're like, you take this apology in place. We can't like take away the fact that you were taught, like spoke to this way. But we can offer you like, hey, this is not how you should have been. This is not how you should have been treated. This is not how you should have been spoken to. Like, kind of validate some of those feelings maybe that linger after, because people get traumatized and then they never have an apology, or they never get closure, or they never get told otherwise. So then they're stuck with these feelings for years. So
and like that view. Maybe.
Yeah. So that's why we are sharing all of these, is because we want to tell you like, hey, look, this is maybe how the situation should have gone. We are apologizing. We're sorry that you even experienced someone that said they love Jesus this way. You know? But yeah, I can't, it hurts my heart, dude, when I hear stuff like that, especially with, abuse and stuff.
Yeah, same.
Because there's this one's not an SA victim, but this one is like a, domestic one. And she said, someone told her that God would want her to overcome her abusive marriage, that she needed to stay in the marriage that was like had a lot of domestic violence, and basically said that God would be upset with her for choosing herself over her marriage, even though there was like extreme like physical abuse. Which I think another thing, I think divorce is such a touchy subject with, like, especially now, because everybody's kind of in a place where it's like do and say and feel whatever you want. But I think in a basic humanity level, like, don't stay anywhere you're getting hurt anytime.
Yeah.
Marriage or not.
Ever.
Like,
get out.
Yeah, whatever, even if it's a work environment, if it's your boyfriend, if it's whatever it is, get out of there. Like, toxicity has no excuse that holds the like, you know, that that validates that. In my opinion. That's just me though, baby. Oh yeah, there was one that was a really good one. She just said that the best like interactions I've ever had with, or the like the most memorable interaction I've ever had with someone who follows Jesus was who just stressed it was relationship over religion, that it freed them. Which just,
yeah, that's good.
I think that's what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of stuff that if you're listening and you follow Jesus and you have interactions with people that aren't, or you just interact with anybody, like, this should just be who you are. But
right,
you know,
right.
But that should be what we want people to walk away with. Not so much specific to, relationship with religion, but that idea that they walk away a little bit more free than they did when they walked up to us.
Not like the opposite.
Yeah, like we should be so aware of how people are going to walk away and remember not you, but what you said. Like, I can tell you 1,000 quotes from different messages that have changed my life, but I probably don't remember who said it. I just remember this one thing being said, and my life was changed after that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing. It's like, what are you saying that people are walking away with? You know?
Or like, how do they feel after when you talk to them? Like, how are you making someone feel when you talk to them?
Yeah. And I think Christianity's under like this huge microscope. always, for rightfully so, to be evaluated and reviewed, and after all the years of all the trauma. But also, like, if we are being watched, instead of being like, well, we shouldn't have to be this, we shouldn't have to be that, let's just live up to what we say we're about, and then it's all good if people watch.
Then
You know what
there's
I
no
mean?
problem.
And it's no big deal. No big deal. Someone just replied, "Oh, girl." Nothing
Let
else.
me pull out my scroll.
Let me see how long you got. What's that email again? Doesn't fit in this DM. Someone said that. Someone said my dad was really forceful about religion and Christianity. My sister and I lived with him for about a year or so, and she felt like the physical stress of like having to.
That's horrible.
Like, oh my gosh, what do you? But I think there's so many different types of Christian parents, dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That could be a whole thing. But
That's a whole episode.
yeah, like there's the ones that are kind of a little bit more just Jesus centered. It's just about Jesus. It's all about what the way he lived and how he would treat you is how I'm going to parent you, how I'm going to love you, how you're going to love other people, how you're going to treat the people. And then I think you go into like the other kind of parenting that's more like, this is what it says, this is what it does. But then if you don't know Jesus, but you live this, that's okay. And then there's just the old school ones. You know the old school ones? Oh my gosh, some of my friends' parents were like that. They scared me.
Yep, I know. Yes.
Yeah, and then someone just said like really holy. Like always really holy. It's so funny. We're watching this documentary, Billy and I. We were telling you about it. It's called Last Chance U.
Mm-hmm.
And the head coach is Christian. But like Baptist, like
Okay.
yeah, and he's the best, dude. It's the whole docuseries is really really cool. But every time he's like, get that spirit out of here, or that's a spirit of this, or that's a spirit of that. And then so I think you have those kind of people too, that everything,
Yeah.
not just in your head like, oh, this is Jesus working, but like I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
that this is Jesus working right now in this conversation. In fact, your foot is up on the couch. That's Jesus telling you to raise your leg and get that spirit out of here.
Literally any little thing.
Yes, you've experienced that.
Jesus
Yeah.
said this.
Jesus said, the Lord told me to tell you.
Put your leg down. Oh my God.
Okay, let's see what else. Oh, I love this. Best and worst interactions you have with Christian. And then someone said interactions with myself. Hey, dude, I think at some point we got to all say, like, you know, some of the worst interactions I've seen Christians operate in is when I was in the picture because I didn't operate right.
Same.
You know what I mean? Like I was a mess or I was not
going through it.
Yeah, something. There's always I love that answer that it's like, it was me.
At least you can acknowledge it.
Yeah, I think you have to. I think if we kind of sit here and nitpick every interaction that people have had with Christianity, but then be like, oh
people
yeah.
People
will be like, I remember.
Email and DM.
Excuse me.
Girl, what do you mean?
They were like, summer of 2012. You. Period.
Like, listen, I'm a different person now.
If you knew me in high school, you don't know me now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's funny. But it is interesting to hear, like, people's real stuff, I think.
Real life.
Yeah. Because every day moves so quickly, everything's happening so fast that we think it's just like another interaction. Like it's just no big deal.
Yeah.
And how many times does that small interaction stick with someone for the rest of their life? And for us, we don't even remember that it happened.
Yeah.
Like
That's so true.
It's crazy.
And even just like with non-Christians, like I was
yeah.
about my job and like one of the people there, just not it.
Yeah. And it's like, they probably think, oh, it's not like,
or they think they're being funny or like stuff like that. And you're just like,
yeah.
What are you saying?
Yep. Where I think there's this attachment where like you're the main character in your life and everybody else is extras, and you don't affect those extras by how you engage and work and operate in the world. Just like your supporting roles, people, like your closest people.
Me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's never been more wrong.
Oh, dude, I know. Well, Sam works in customer service, so she sees people all the time. And I was telling her, like, when you see them, this is like, this is all you think about, all you do. So you know the ins and outs of everything you do. This person is thinking about you for what? 5 minutes, 4 minutes, sometimes 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That it's like they don't even realize, or you don't even realize how much they affect each other.
Yeah.
You know? And I think, I just think we have to be cautious. And even if you're not someone who's a Christian,
just be nice.
Be nice.
Just be a good person.
No, I think
please.
You just have to choose, like, that even when it's like not convenient, being a kind person doesn't hurt anybody.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't cost money either.
I know. So, I know. It's so interesting. I remember another experience that I had growing up. We went to camps and conferences like all the time. Your mom used to take us to everything, which, dude, if there is one thing I remember from growing up is that we traveled because your mom took us places.
Yeah. She was like, we got to fundraise.
She would find concerts and 2-day conferences, which, like, conferences and camps, they're like just multi-day events.
Yeah.
Where you pretty much have church like all day, but it's like morning sessions, afternoon sessions, night sessions, and then it's like cool breakouts, and there's like videos and a bunch of stuff added to it, so it's not boring. They were always really fun. But I remember, dude, going to like one of the first conferences I could go to, because you didn't really go to them till you were like
a certain age.
Yeah,
it was like an age limit too.
Yeah,
like you didn't go
12 and up, 13 and up, 14 and up,
and you didn't go after you're 18. You're out of
sorry girl, find them yourself. Yeah, it was, you kind of just had like a certain age group that you could go, and I had never really been to one before, and I had only seen like supernatural stuff, like really intense stuff, like at the church. I remember the first time I saw it, and it scared the life out of me. And then when we did see it in church, it was much more like structured, I guess, like in order. It wasn't like crazy and scary,
like free for all.
Yeah, like wild, from what I've experienced. But we went to one, dude, and everybody was like falling out. Everybody, like,
which one was
dude,
it?
I'm trying to remember. It was in Riverside, and we went with oh my gosh, dude, I can't even remember. I think it was.
Oh, was it something with fire in it?
Maybe.
I have like, did we have those little tags?
Probably.
Like, but the picture was so specific. I don't remember it. Like it had fire on it or something. Was it like in a huge?
It was a church.
Oh, it was a church.
It wasn't a venue. I don't remember exactly where it was, but I remember it was in Riverside, and I was probably like, I think I may have been able to go because I was like 11, dude.
Yeah, and I wasn't there.
Yeah,
you were always able to do stuff at least 1 year before me.
Oh,
so I couldn't go.
That was always sad. I was always like, who am I gonna hang out with? Well, they would always room us separate anyway. We're gonna do a whole nother episode on all this stuff. But yeah, it was. I remember like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna accept Jesus, and I had already accepted him like 50 times at this point. He was already living in my life. In my heart, he had 3 houses in there by this point. Like, I was
growing
like, okay,
up Christian, be like,
accept Jesus.
This is my 8th time in this service.
This is my 4th time today in all of these services.
Yeah.
And I went up to the front, and I was like, oh, okay, Lord, I'm responding to you, dude. And the pastor,
oh, no, did they push you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then they didn't like let you get up. Like you had to lay there, and they kept praying over you.
I don't know if I like laughing is okay, but like, dude,
this does not happen often. This does not happen often. This never happened at our home church. I never got pushed. I would have pushed back. No.
I've seen it though at a lot of conferences.
Yeah. This doesn't happen everywhere, all right? Let's just say that. And I remember being laid out, and they were telling me to start speaking in tongues, and I didn't know. I'm literally 11 years old, dude, and I didn't know like what I was supposed to say or what I was supposed to do. And I was like, how do you do this? I'm confused. Will you not let me up until I start? What happens now?
I would have been like, okay, I did it.
I was like, I'm like, what am I supposed to do, dude? Like, they literally were not letting me up. Like, they were telling me, like, speak in tongues, speak in tongues. I think we laugh now because it's like you have to. You have to laugh and be like, thank God I didn't. That's not.
Yo, I would have
right.
been laughing if I was there watching this happening.
Dude, I had no clue what to do, man.
Because I probably wouldn't have gone out.
Someone would grab my arm and like just pulled me out from underneath, and they wouldn't have known.
I would have been like, that's why you shouldn't have gone out.
There's a girl possessed over there. Come on, hurry. Run, Randy, run.
Yeah, we have to do a whole episode on church camps.
Oh, yeah, church camps, conferences. The stuff that would break out of those things, dude. There were times where my life was changed at conferences and camps. Don't get it twisted. There were some real sketchy ones.
Yeah.
But dude, some of the conferences that I've experienced, oh my gosh, dude. They're just, it's because it's so like dense.
Yeah.
Like every day is like so, yeah.
A lot of like consumption.
Potent, yeah, with like stuff you're learning, content, but just like the presence of Jesus. Like if you're going into worship experiences for an hour 3 times a day, like you just can't help but like be rocked all the time. Sometimes you walk out, you're like, what the heck, am I high? Or
yeah,
you know. But we will do another episode where we talk about camps and conferences. And dude, sometimes there was like manifestations at conferences and camps. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Did you ever experience some of those things? Oh, okay. Well, we'll save it for the next one. But yeah, it's
gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. Clearly, we'll talk about some of the outfits too, because conference outfit planning was a whole nother thing.
It was like you planned this like if it was like a vacation.
It was Coachella.
Yeah,
it was
basically.
Coachella. And you took pictures the whole time. We're gonna have to. I have so many pictures
like,
from conferences.
There was also like drama. Like,
oh my gosh! Because you'd go with like your youth group, and most of the time people were dating and like cliques.
Yeah,
oh my gosh!
There was a lot of that.
Ooh, child. But yeah, we hope if you got to the end of the episode today, that you enjoyed it, that you laughed with us at our experiences. But more than anything, that if you have ever had like experiences, Christian or not, with people that follow Jesus that weren't so much Jesus-like, one, remember that we're all human beings.
Yes.
So I'm so sorry that you caught someone or a conversation on a day that wasn't like reflective of Jesus, but I can tell you that I've had those days. Sam has had those days. But also, we're sorry that if they were, this is just who they are, that you experienced that too. Because Jesus loves you so much, and whatever situation you came from, like we heard from some of the people today, like there would never be a moment where you would feel like he doesn't love you, or he's not for you, or for your life, or whatever it is. And that you also laughed at some of our experiences. All of our crazy Theas. Maybe you have now. One. Yeah,
we weren't laughing in the moment.
No, we weren't. But we'll be back again next week. Yeah.
Yes, we will.
And what are we gonna jump into, Guru? Conferences?
Yeah.
Camp. Conferences. Yeah, we'll have to come with some fire pictures. Because I thought I was so fresh, dude. I was like, yeah.
Are you wearing all your
with
clothes?
The floppy hats that everybody wore all the time.
Yes.
Anyway, we will be back again next week. If you have any confessions, questions, anything in between, feel free to drop them to us in between now and the next time we film. And we will see you next time. Bye.